Welcome to my YouTube channel. Pretty excited / scared. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some chats. We're gonna have some talks. Thought I would just start big, just start mega, okay? Just go for it. And also I envision maybe you can have this on while you're doing the dishes or doing meal prep, folding laundry. Like, I want to start this new category called like Comfort Career Series. I put chia in it. I know it's a little gritty, but maybe it'll expand in my stomach and make me not so starving all the time. Well, I wanted to talk about career wounds. This is a term I kind of made up. I'm gonna lie to you, I just made it up. We start accumulating these sort of death by 1,000 cuts. And these can be as everyday occurrences like microaggressions down to full-blown like toxic boss, verbal abuse. Problem is that we go from job to job to job and we never heal in between these things. We just carry them with us. We think the next job is going to be the thing that saves us, the thing that helps us out of the dark place. But because we haven't done the work, because we don't know how to do the work, because this is not like a concept that is like talked about, we just bring our trauma with us to the next job. And oftentimes you might think about a career wound as something where it's like a single stab, a single event. Like, oh yeah, this job happened and my boss was like super aggressive to me and like told me that they thought I was withholding information when I wasn't, or like thought that I was being antisocial when I was just trying to hold a boundary, like whatever it is, okay? We think it's just a single time. But here's the crazy thing about career wounds is I think that it's not a single event. I think that it's actually a pattern. It's a constellation. It is a that she is like really coming up now. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, it's a constellation, it's a pattern, it's actually a theme or a lesson that we have to learn. And until we learn that lesson, you're gonna be repeating the same thing. You are the same character in a different play. You bring yourself with you. Do you know what I'm saying? So stay with me for a second. Let me kind of break this down, okay? So let's say that one of your patterns growing up, not to like over psychologize it, but it is all related. We know that, right? So let's say one of your patterns growing up was that you grew up in an immigrant household and your parents didn't really pay very much attention to you. But what did they care about? They cared about success, because you were poor, and so success and money were things that you were just taught were important. And in immigrant households, what is the way to success is to do well in school, right? Oh, my daughter gets the best grades, she's so smart, she's gonna go to Harvard, yada, yada, okay? We all know this really well. And so what happens is you take on this persona of, I'm going to lift up my family, I'm going to save my family, I'm gonna be the one that breaks all the generational curses. I'm gonna be the one that is gonna be the first to go to college, the first to go to an Ivy League school, the first. We put all the pressure on ourselves. And all along the way, our parents being parents, they pat us on the head. And they're like, you did a great job. Oh my gosh, they finally give us the smallest smidge of affirmation, the tiniest little glimpse, morsel of love in the form of not even praise, but recognition. Good job, okay? And we take that, and because immigrant household, we're so starved for attention, then it becomes like, oh my gosh, this is like a currency that I can use, like I can run with this. So that's, I think, partially why we see, I'll just use Asian Americans as an example. We see the Asian Americans excel in school because this is a way that you can make your family look good. And this is a way that you can perhaps elevate the next generation. Have you guys ever felt this pressure? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, so the scene is already set. The seeds have been sowed. We all know now that this is the psyche that we're working with, okay? So you are well positioned, you are poised to take on this identity of being a yes person. We're not taught to push back or have a boundary with our parents. Like that doesn't exist, okay? So when it comes to authority figures, we don't have that boundary. Like just doesn't, we don't know. Which everything's just like, yes, okay. Yes, dad, yes, mom, right? So we get into corporate America, we get into the workplace, and what happens is we're repeating the pattern of taking on, now we know if I do a lot of work and if I do well, then I'm a good girl. We all want to be a good girl, right? We all want to be loved. We all want to save our family from poverty, save our family from generational curses, of course. So we do it. And in our first job, second job, third job, we just say yes. We're like, oh, do you need someone to stay late? Yes. Do you need someone to put this report together? Yes. Everything is yes, 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 yes. But because we have not learned how to have any kind of regulation, emotional regulation, okay, what happens? We just say yes to 5 jobs, but we're one person. And oh, does corporate America love it. They're like, I have found my people. Let me exploit you. Oh, you're willing to do double the work for the same pay? You're willing to do triple the work with no recognition? And you're just gonna keep saying yes, 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 yes? Ah, corporate America is like, hi, nice to meet you. Let me take advantage of this shit because hell to the yeah, okay? This is how so many of us fall into the trap. The trap, what trap? The trap of people pleasing, saying yes when we don't really want to do things, and being taken advantage of in corporate America. So what I'm saying is, and you may not be Asian American, this may not apply to you, but I think these similar themes of how we are taught in childhood, in our families, where the authority is established, right? Our first taste of authority through our family system sets us up for certain vulnerabilities in the workplace, okay? So later on, let's say in your late 20s, early 30s, this manifests as, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm so burnt out. I don't live with my parents anymore, but I don't really even know what I want to do because I've always been told what to do, and I've always just, oh, okay, so let me go to an Ivy League school, and then let me go work at McKinsey or Goldman or Google. That's gonna be good. You know what I mean? It's like your path has been set for you, so you don't know exactly how to like make your own path. It's not like you weren't really taught how to do that. You kind of just did what everyone thought you should do. But then you get there, or some variation of that. Maybe it's not McKinsey, but it's Accenture. Maybe it's not Accenture, but it's like fucking PwC. Okay, it's something where your parents can be like, oh, my daughter's so smart, da-da-da, right? And then you get there and you're like, I think this place sucks. I think this sucks. Like, I think that, hello, like I'm unhappy. I don't know about this. But again, we haven't really been taught how to use your voice. So how does this manifest? This manifests when you're like 29 and you're like, what? I blinked. What am I doing here? It's a feeling of disconnection between your mind and your body and your soul. You feel like, I don't even remember who I am anymore. Why am I even here? I know I feel all this pressure to meet these deadlines and create these reports and do these things and meet these KPIs, OKRs. But actually, I don't like any of it. Help, sunk cost, now I'm stuck, right? So that's how it starts to come out. And then what happens, inevitably, also because I'm not gonna paint corporate America as this universal villain. Like, obviously, you don't have to do it, but if you are to do it, know that generally is gonna be on the side of capitalism. It's gonna be like, hi, we're here to squeeze everything out of you, and we're here for the bottom line, and we're here to make our shareholders happy because we're a public company. Generally, okay? So then you just are like stuck. And what inevitably happens is something happens to wound you. There's some sort of career wound. I'll give some examples. Career wounds can be like, you have a boss who started off really nice, but now they're mean to you for no reason. There's a bit of a mean girl energy going on, and all of a sudden you're just like, I just feel like they don't like me. I'm being a little bullied. I am being put on a PIP. I'm being told that if I don't improve in 30 days that I'm out. Suddenly you're not the highest performer. And then you get a talking to about how do you feel that you're doing about your performance. Full on people screaming at you. I mean, it can come in so many different forms. But essentially, I think that we all, just like in life, how we all have the lessons that we have to learn based on our initial wounding, I feel like career wounds are specific and thematic based on the person. Okay? So my specific career wounds are around women in authority, mother issues, right? Everyone's is different. But here's what I do know is you bring that with you. So here's why am I saying all this? Because essentially I want to warn you, okay? I want you to be aware of what is happening. A lot of people are gonna tell you, oh my God, just quit and get a new job. As a career coach, I will probably tell you that as well. However, I just saw like the volume thing on my screen go like red. It was like, you're talking too loud. Okay, chill. Oh, this is supposed to be like soothing career content. I don't know. It got a little energized. Sorry. But here's the thing: is that I'm gonna be honest with you. You're gonna bring, okay, if you leave a job without working on the core issue, without at least acknowledging, oh, I tend to have this habit of being a people pleaser. But I'm sure people pleaser, let me talk about that. People pleaser meaning like you say yes to more things than you should. You feel like no one can do it better. People pleaser and perfectionist, they're like cousins. They're very closely related. You feel like people can't do it as good as you, so you're like, I'll just do it myself. Then you start doing everything and everyone's job. You get overworked, you burned out, you resent everyone, you rage quit. The people pleaser to rage quit pipeline is like a pretty well-worn path. Careful. You think you're helping people. You think you're saving the organization. You think you're the one and only savior of this godforsaken place. And guess what? You end up rage quitting. Happened to me, happened to lots of people before. If you don't recognize that that is your pattern, you take on too much, you say yes, then you start to resent everyone, and then eventually you push it all away, okay? That's a pattern. That's a thing that you do. I'm not saying, you know you do it. I know I do it. We do it. nothing's gonna change. You go to the next job. If you're lucky, your boss can have some self-awareness and perhaps not allow you to take on so much and say things like, oh, no, I want to preserve your bandwidth, if you're lucky. Chances are, though, because again, capitalism, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be, once again, because those early stages, you're going to go in and you're going to be like, I need to prove myself. I need to prove myself, so I'm going to work 2x, 3x, double, triple hard. Same thing, okay? Very easy fix, which is, I get this question a lot. Question is, how do you heal a career wound? Well, I think I'm going to offer a little bit of a different answer, which is, I think that your career has forward momentum. You're constantly, like in Guitar Hero, the keys keep coming forward to you. It's like that. Your career keeps coming at you. So you keep getting more and more opportunities to be tested. I don't think a career wound is meant to be healed. I think it's meant to be remembered. I think it's meant to be so painful in order to remind yourself not to do the same shit again. If you're a people pleaser and you take on too much, guess what? At your next job, just don't do that. Just don't do that. I know I shouldn't say yes, but I just feel like it's my first month and I really want to make a good impression. Boundary. You got to know your own boundary. What am I taking on? What is mine and what is not mine? And the things that I take on, can I responsibly, thoughtfully, professionally do this without absolutely killing myself and absolutely driving myself mad? You gotta have that pause. Someone asks you, oh, can you take on this project? It would be great exposure for you. Now, most times early on in a new job, you're gonna say, yeah, sure. But I want you to take a 10-second pause. The pause, just say, yeah, can I just ask how this fits into XYZ? Don't just say yes. The baby step is say yes, but then ask a question, a clarifying question. Can you just tell me when, priority-wise, this fits into that? I just want to make sure that if I do take this on, that it doesn't interfere with the... You got to introduce that little bit of resistance. You cannot be the yes person. It will destroy you. Don't destroy yourself, okay? That's it. This is the video. I just want you to have a little bit of a warning so that when you go from job to job, you are reflecting on your own patterns and habits and you're not repeating the same mistakes. Very difficult. I know. Almost impossible. Most people don't do it. Most people just walk in, repeat the same thing, and wonder, why do I quit after 2 years at every job? It started out so great. Because you're living the same play over and over. All right, my friends, this was my first YouTube video. If you like it, leave a comment. I'll probably respond. And have a wonderful, beautiful day. Goodbye.